Next in the progression is going to be countering this grab. It's kind of important. And I have a series of things you can use at all these clock angles to do that, and we'll show them. You know, we have a circular release, and that's when your grabbed limb does a circle and gets out of the grip. We have a push-pull, which of course we've shown here already. We have a center lock drive, and that's when someone grabs you, you get them into a center lock, and you drive yourself out of it. You have these powerful yank outs that get you just yank out of the grip. It's a hit and retract, natural counter to a grip. And then when you're grabbed, I've always taught immediately striking with the stick or the weapon that you have to try to get out. For example, a circular release. He's grabbed me, he's thumb up. I'm just going to circle out tightly. If I make a big circle, this allows for him to get ready to counter my attack. But if I just make a tight circle, he'd have to be very, very strong, and there are some people that are, with giant hands, to keep you from that circular motion. I've even seen people help themselves, by doing this, if that's not hitting you in the head in the process. But any circular release, clockwise or counterclockwise, that might be more efficient. He grabs you here, you have the classic push-pull. I am pushing here and pulling in. Giant man, big, strong, big hands, going to have trouble. Maybe you scream, distract to try to get that to happen. But it's not going to be easy in a death grip. If he grabs you thumb down, he is in the S, V, or Z center lock position. It's already weak, but it's a natural grab. So it's quite likely to happen, And so if he grabs you here in this position, thumb down, we call it that center lock drive. I take advantage of that weak position, and I drive in the direction of the stick downward, and it's very difficult for him to hang on to you. So a center lock drive. Here is a yank out. Whether it's thumb down or thumb up, I might be able to just pull the stick out. And in effect, if you see a grab coming, you see the hit and retract is a natural counter to a grab. You're coming in, you see it, and you pull out. You yank out of it. Sometimes you can do that. And then finally, fanning hits. If he catches me here, as soon as this gets caught, duck and start fan. They call it in the Filipino martial arts almost universally the abanico, the fan. We show this in the basic clock training of 12 fan to 6, or head, groin, head, groin. On the 3 o'clock side, we have head to the 9 o'clock side. So it's 3 to 9, temple, temple, head, arm, arm, arm. Whatever, it's anything from the right side to anything from the left side. From the 6 o'clock, you have groin or anything from below to the head or anything from above. 6, 12, 6, 12, groin, head, low, high. And then from this side, we have temple, temple. 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, head, 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 arm, arm, arm. Whatever it is, it's from this side to that side. That's your crash course in a combat clock fanning. So you have, if he grabs you, you have the ability to get out of this. So he gives me, I strike at 12 o'clock. He catches my limb. I'll do a push-pull release. Notice I'm already getting out of dodge from that other stick over there that may be coming in at me. So I'm worried about that. Here's at 3 o'clock. He grabs me. Push-pull is probably the handiest. But let's do it again. 3 o'clock. He grabs me. I circular release. Or, if I have trouble, I bring it up to the SV or center lock. You see, he's gone from thumb up to thumb down, and I have this releasing motion, He gives me the attack from here. He grabs my hand. This is a classic push-pull release. You'll see these later. But these are the ways that you escape the grip on your weapon-bearing limb. Or for that matter, any limb, anytime. Circular release, push-pull, center lock drive, yank outs, and then using the weapon right away as an attack. So next in this progression, we've grabbed the limb. Let's worry about grabbing the stick. And so if Rawhide comes out here, I just want to say that where you grab the stick is kind of important in your plans of a follow-up. If you grab here, great, you've got the stick, that's terrific. If you grab up here, it's kind of not a good spot. He can take it out. You can't strike him very well. But you kind of grab it somewhere where you can use the tennis racket part of the stick is a very practical deal. When you start grabbing the stick of the opponent, you're in a lot of different Filipino martial arts. You're in a lot of areas where you hear the term tappy-tappy and these close quarter things. And to me, they were taught in a very difficult, encumbering manner. And if you use the combat clock, you can progress in a very good way and understand it. And so if he gives me a 12 o'clock attack, I stop it and I catch the stick. You can catch the stick thumb up or thumb down. It's kind of important in terms of your follow-ups. He gives me the 3 o'clock. I stop it, I catch the stick. He gives me the 6 o'clock, I stop it, and I catch the stick. He gives me the 9 o'clock, and I stop it, and I catch the stick. You see two guys stick dueling like crazy with helmets on. You'll say, oh, well, you can't catch that stick. Take that helmet off. Let me crack you in the head once. And then we'll see how, I can catch the stick. I can hit you in the head sufficiently, I can tie your two shoes together. I can handcuff you. Least of all, worry about catching the stick. That's the diminished fighter theory. And this is the close quarter realm that we're talking about. He gives me a 12 o'clock, I stop it, I catch the stick. 3 o'clock, I catch the stick. 6, catch the stick. 9, and I catch the stick. Stick hand, stick hand, stick hand. 9, give me that backhand again. How hand, stick. Stop it, catch it, and you can get I have seen people get very, very fast and good doing this, and I had a bit of skill at it myself. But you have to practice snaring the stick. Now we're going to explore another fan, if you will, the exercising, the fanning of his stick. For future use, which we're about to show you. He gives me 12 o'clock. I block it and I catch the stick. My thumb is up. And what I'd like for you to do is experiment with the rotation of just how far this stick can be used. He can't stop it because of leverage. And so we are covering quite a ways. I'm here at about 9 o'clock to 12 to 3 down to 6. Have a nice rotation here. If I catch the stick with my thumb down, the rotation is not that good. I'm going from 9 to 12 to about 2 o'clock. This may pick up a punch from there, but it's not as good as that complete circular motion. He gives me the 3 o'clock. I hit it. If I catch it, stick up, thumb up. I have an I want you to experiment with the fan and see how far I can go. 6 o'clock. I catch it. I experiment with the fan. Boy, that's a good range of motion right there. And then 9 o'clock. I catch it and I experiment with the rotation. I told you earlier, if I catch it down here, it's not as good. If I catch it up here, it's not as good. Somewhere here where the tennis racket part of the stick is the best way to do it. So 12, 3, 6, and 9, catch it and see how far you can fan his stick. This is important. I stop it, I catch it, and I use his stick to block. I'm nice and free to do whatever else that I want to do. He gives me a 3 o'clock. I block it, I catch it, I use his stick to block the attack, and then I let him have it. 6 o'clock, block, catch, his stick I try to use to block him. And then 9 o'clock, I use his stick. Remember that what I said earlier, this is kind of an important part of this. He is going to punch you in a thrust or a hook, in a hit and retract or a committed lunge. So let's just take a look at this again. Here, I catch this. Here comes a big haymaker hook punch. It's good to catch that on the middle of the arm. What I like to suggest is that, if you see bicep, it's probably a hook punch. And that could be even a little bit tighter. But if you look up and you register bicep, it's probably a hook punch, and it's good to get on the inside of the arm. If you don't see bicep and it's a thrust, it's probably good to be on the outside of the arm and use that blocking motion. These are all drills that you can practice. But remember, he's going to punch you in a thrust or a hook, in a committed lunge, or a hit and retract. Another trick with grabbing the stick. 12 o'clock. I stop, I catch, I hit the head. 3 o'clock. Stop, catch, hit the head. This is why we're experimenting with the fan circumference of the caught stick. 6 o'clock. It's there for you. 9 o'clock. Boom, boom, and you hit the head. In the Philippines, we did another series of these where he was smart enough to save his head. And we had follow-ups with that. 12 o'clock. He catches. You have the hooking tip stab, the songiti totsara. Also a disarm. Also a disarm. You have 3 o'clock. I catch. He saves his head. Immediately strike. 6 o'clock. I catch. Grab. Immediately strike. 9 o'clock. It comes in. Catch. Hit the head. He catches it, but he saves his head. And then I must, while this is all busy, woo, this is free out here to hit the head. This next one, I am going to use, it requires a simultaneous grab of each other's sticks. And I'm going to try to use his stick to weaken his grip on my stick. So watch this. Here's at 12 o'clock. We'll do this very, very slow. I come in. He grabs mine as I grab his stick. You know, I'm going to immediately, since I've practiced the fan movement, immediately try to hit here once or twice and get my stick free. He may still be holding on to that. I don't care because I'm whooping him now. I'm whooping him now. Here's my 3 o'clock. He catches me, I catch him. Bang! I try to get that shot and hit him. 6 o'clock. He catches me as I catch him. I'm going to shove this down and hit this up and try to get free. Here's 9 o'clock. Boom! I catch. If I catch thumb down, I told you I'm rather limited. Don't forget. Boom, hit that first. And here, always get that stick. The head is really the primary target. If I catch this thumb up, I have full radius to hit his hand and strike his grip on mine. I didn't want this to be a disarm DVD. It deserves its whole character by itself. But here's the strip and a keep disarm. We're keeping it because we caught it. And let me just give you the quick run through universally on that subject matter. If I catch the stick, you know, thumb up or thumb down, I have some basic principles for the strip and keep. I'm keeping it because I caught the stick. I shoot the moon. This is Filipino terminology. Of course, we want to hit here first. I shoot the moon in sort of a push-pull motion. I catch the stick. I slam the earth. I ride the horizon between the earth and the moon. This comes in and I catch this. I ride the horizon between the earth and the moon. This includes, you know, all the vine disarms and the many different ideas. I'm taking that stick and between the earth and the moon, I'm riding the horizon. And then I catch it. I catch the stick. Some handle pulls. If you remember those three basic deals, shoot the moon, slam the earth, ride the horizon between the earth and the moon, and some handle pulls, you will have the basis for the strip and keep disarm. And I'm going to name two more things to you that is as old as the hills. And taught to me in the 1980s by a terrific guy named Terry Gibson, who explained it to me this way. An Asano instructor. He said, if you can do a disarm here, and you can do a disarm here, that's really what you need to do. You might say, in my terminology, 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Because it's hard sometimes to do disarms up here, way up at 12, and hard to do lots of them down here at 6. But what you can do as this comes in is you can take it to 9 o'clock. You can take it to 3 o'clock. You can pick up and do a move to get him to 9 o'clock, or pick it up and do a move to 3. These are your comfort spots for your disarm practice. So he would always say, if you can do a disarm on the right side, and you can do a disarm on the left side, that's very practical, because you can put all these attacks into these two sides. It's a great piece of advice. He gives me at 12 o'clock, boom, I catch, and I can do a strip and keep by slamming the earth. 3 o'clock, I stop it, I catch it, I can do this. 6 o'clock, I catch the stick. The reason we were doing the fanning is because I'm positioning the stick where I want it, and the fan practice helps me do that also. And then 9 o'clock, I stop it, I catch the stick, I take it to my left side, and I can do a strip and keep disarm. I told you earlier, one of the main grips is the center grip. How many times do you do a disarm and you get the stick in the center grip? Look at the disparity between your favorite fighting positions. So it becomes imperative for you, when you're doing all your Filipino double stick training, to take a quick look at all the patterns and do them with the stick in this grip. Because the first few seconds of your disarm, you might have to fight double stick with this in this grip. One quick way: put the end of the stick into your leg, drop it to your favorite fighting position, and there you are doing your favorite stuff in your favorite grips. Now we'll take a look at 4 escapes from getting your stick grabbed, and there's just a couple of them, but a major one is a rowing rollover of the grab. You can go over the top or under. You can row under. Basically, you grab your stick in 2 hands and you row up or under, and whatever is appropriate. You can, as we'll show you in a second, hit his own grab on your stick with his stick. And so you can also grab his stick and wipe his grab off of you. These are the core moves of what we call solo baston tappy tappy, and I'm explaining it to you in a very good way. So here we have an example. Here we have just a quick example of what I'm talking about. He grabs my stick. It's in the center, but it doesn't have to be. And one of the quick ways is to row. Go right over, you see. This puts him in that SVZ or center lock position, and it is an easy takeaway. And so anytime they grab, and we learned in the Philippines also to facilitate this with a forearm strike right here. And so between this weak point that's right here and this forearm strike, you can really get your stick out fast. Now sometimes people try to do it here and on the inside. You're opening yourself to the bad guy's stuff on the other side, and it's not as good as it might be. If he has 2 hands on the stick, you can still do this with a powerful movement that you need to practice. Or some people will unlock this one and unlock that one using the 2 positions, So these are some quick escapes from the grab. I strike at 12, he grabs my stick, I escape. I strike at 3 o'clock, he grabs my stick, you see, and I roll out. I strike at 6, he grabs my stick, and I roll. Notice the grab over the top. I get that shot. I strike at 9 o'clock, and I get the roll away escape. Very simple and vital that you learn it, because if he grabs my hand, it's the same position. It's the rollover. You'll see a little bit again in a second. Next classic one, and a Remy Press's favorite, is going to be a wipe. You're still basically setting up. I grab his stick, he grabs my stick. And I'm going to, in this court, because the struggle may ensue immediately, and my stick may be not in the clear striking area, but underneath his stick or something. And then I'm going to extract while I use his stick to wipe his hand off of my stick. For example, I strike here, he grabs me, I grab him. Now, this is good hitting territory. But if we're struggling and I wind up here, look at this and then look at that. And I've drawn the stick out. Here's 3. I strike at 3 o'clock. He grabs me, I grab him. Maybe a struggle ensues. This is good hitting. This is good hitting. But you have a hit, and the hit doesn't work. Push, pull to try to get your stick out. Here's 6 o'clock. We hit here. He grabs here. I grab him. And then I'm going to try to wipe the stick out. And then 9 o'clock. He grabs my stick. I grab his stick. If I am in this position here or where I am, I have to try to wipe that stick off of his hand. So if the hit's not available, this hit's almost always available. But if the hit's not available, you may have an option for a wipe. So almost like drawing a sword, and you pull your stick out of his grip. So we grab the stick, we grab the mostly the forearm, the weapon-bearing limb, and then sometimes as a setup for takedowns, you have an arm wrap. As soon as you get this arm wrap, you stun him again, then you get our next DVD, which is the massive 2-hour study of over 40 stick takedowns. So this comes in overhead. Hey, you know what? This arm wrap is very, very popular and happens in hardcore stick versus stick dueling all the time. And you want this to stop beating you, so you grab it and kind of seize the stick limb. And from here you have all the grappling. I just want to get you into the spot of arm wraps. This suddenly comes at a hook punch, or it comes in at a thrust punch, and you start in with hitting. So 12 o'clock, boom, you move in and strike and you get an arm wrap. 3 o'clock, almost the same thing, you get an arm wrap. 6 o'clock, boom, depends on where it is. You might get a rear arm bar, hammerlock, or an arm wrap. And then 9 o'clock, right here, and I'm wrapping the arm. So we want to see that you practice getting 4 arm wraps of some kind from 12, 3, 6, and 9. The next series of must know goes into a little collection of some tip and pummel strikes. I want to reiterate the fact that a lot of your practice in classes and schools and seminars are shaft to shaft single stick work. A lot of time spent doing that. But remember, there's strikes with the shaft or the barrel, strikes with the pummel, strikes with the tip. And we would be remiss to not know that and practice that stuff. And so if we used to call any stab, a harpoon. That was the nickname for it. And sometimes you'll see some of the big boys, they'll put their thumb on the stick for guidance. But if you ever get hit on your thumb, it'll kill you. It'll just be miserable. You wish you were never born, your grandmother was never born. That's how much that hurts. So as soon as you use that guidance system, the big boys would take the thumb away and put it in a safer position. But you have, of course, a 12 thrust, a 3 thrust, a 6 o'clock thrust, and a 9 o'clock thrust. And you have a 12 hook tip, a 3 o'clock hook tip, a 6 o'clock hook tip, and a 9 o'clock hook tip. Basic training. Advanced training would be all the numbers of the clock. So he gives me any 12 o'clock stab, and I use the stick to block or pass it. Now, if he gives me a hit and retract, there's nothing to pass. But this is a committed lunge, and I'm able to pass it over. He gives me a shot from this side, I pass it over. 6 o'clock, I pass it over. 9 o'clock, and I'm passing it over using the stick. He gives me a 12 o'clock attack, and I use the hand to pass it over. The 3 o'clock, I use the hand to pass it over. 6 o'clock, I use the hand or the limb to pass it over, and then I use the limb to pass it over. So you have a pass. The stab trajectory, no matter how fast it's coming, is here a long time. Longer than many different styles of attacks. And so intercepting this, we'll have a drill for you here in a second on that. Intercepting or deflecting that is a tad easier than some of the other attacks. And that's why the hand can get in and deflect that incoming stab. In this progression that I usually teach, and we're up into the 30s now of steps, but these are fundamental deals that brings the best understanding. Here is a horizontal tip stab blast, the nickname, where the guy is coming in like this with the tip, and then you palm, stick, palm, and then you attack. And so all I'm going to ask you to do is palm, stick, palm. And this is done in a big fast circle, but it's palm, stick, palm, and then you attack. And it goes a little something like this. Palm, stick, which is hopefully on the hand or on his forearm, and palm as close to the elbow as possible. And then mine's up. The reason he has to cross his body with a palm block is because I got this busy for the critical second. He comes in and passes this over, hits, and goes. And you see, we hit the stick for training, but in actuality, what we'd like to do is hit the hand. Palm, stick, palm. And this is a great way to learn passing. And it's a quick, easy drill we use with a knife and with an empty hand that gets this going here. Now, just so that you have a few differences to do with this, one of them, you might say this is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On beat 1 or 2 or 3, I do an uppercut. I have a stick disarm, and then it's a strip and keep because I managed to keep it. And then you have, any of the double stick follow-ups that you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 uppercut. And then if you want to do something cool, you can follow up with a disarm. But I want you to have that uppercut in your practice. So the next one here we'll show you, which we've mentioned, is a snake disarm. This comes in. I kind of work up the arm. He is in the SV or center lock. It's pretty weak. And now I have the snake disarm. If I'm really cool that day, I get to keep the stick. But a lot of times it just passes out. So one of the things that you can do from this is, this snake disarm. Get that? So you have an uppercut, you have a snake disarm, and then of course as you're doing this, there's a series of these in Filipino martial arts. And there's about 10 in a set. And I don't like about 6 of them. So I just showed the first couple. But you can get with various instructors and they'll show you the whole set. And so one major one is the catch. And so I grab the stick. You strike. He grabs the catch himself. You do what we did before. I catch the stick. I hit. I can take this over the arm to the reverse bent arm bar lock, or I can take this and go under the arm, knee, and take them down. Take them down, And so there. But what I want you to pick up today is the catch. Boom, is the catch. You can do a disarm right away. You can go over the arm, under the arm, numerous things once you've made that catch. But anyway, that's a quick drill for you. I want you to keep inventing inserts to these things, because I am here to inspire you, not confine you to some set routine. I'm just here to make you think and add your own stuff to this. Close quarters. Punyo, we've kind of taken a look at a tip stab. What about, closer up here? Close quarters, the guy strikes you at 12 or anything from above. He strikes you at 3 o'clock. A hooking deal or a thrusting deal, but we'll take a look at a hook here. At 6 o'clock, he's striking this way, and at 9 o'clock, he's striking at you this way, trying to hit you with this. First thing we'll do is we'll block with the stick. Now, if I block with the stick close to my hand, I have mojo in the block. If I do out here, I may have a problem. So you have to support it or not and be up here. 3 o'clock, whoa, I block. 6 o'clock, I block it. 9 o'clock, and I block it. He gives me it. Again, I block with the empty hand. Boom, strike. Block with the empty hand. Block with the empty hand. Block with the empty hand. And I'm getting a simultaneous strike in. Next, I like to show people on that subject matter is something they call in the Philippines, many call punyo hubad. And it's Hubad. Hubad in Tagalog means naked above the waist. And so the best word to use, especially amongst the Filipino, is hubad. Higo, hubad, lubad, to blend, to tie, and to untie. And so here it is, folks. And if you've been with us, you know this one. And if you're not, try to get with us. We'll show it to you. Event 1 Event 2 is a pass. I can pass with the stick. I can pass with the V between the stick and the arm, or I can pass with the forearm. Event 3, 4, and he does the same thing to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Event 1, event 2. Try to pin on the elbow, because if you pin low, the experts like to say they roll the elbow over and get you, So we have event 1, event 2, event 3, event 4, 5, and 6. And this is a great place to start in the close quarter motions right here. I can't show you the 7,300 things you can do from this. But let's pick something in event 1. Very popular move at event 1 is the snake disarm. So this has come in, I block it, raise my forearm, raise my elbow. Do not engage the thumb. Because people who use the thumb have a tendency to grab the forearm and lose the snaking motion. And they think that just by doing something like this, that the stick or the knife is going to fly out of the guy's hand. And it's crap. It's not right. Don't even let your palm touch the forearm. Just snake it. And that is the maximum use of the snake disarm. So we come in event 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Event 1, you have the snake disarm. He loses the stick. You can do whatever you want from there. Event 2. 1, 2. From here, if you want a trick. This is here for cover. It's 2.5, This is 3. I thrust forward into the throat, which could be a nice strike to the carotid artery, which could be a very stunning blow. From this here, this is going to the back of my neck. This goes to here, and I'm choking him. I've covered this. I am trying to squeeze the carotid and drive this stick back on the Adam's apple. I like to walk slowly backward to step forward for the camera, but I like to walk slowly backward. What I like to do here, to show you, if I catch his hesitation or struggle, I'm going to let go of this for one brief second and hammer fist him in the face and come right back down. I like to wipe down because I know I can trail the arm and get the key grab again. If I just do this, I may miss something. But you have bang, 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 bang. You have that. Then he's sufficiently stunned. The classic Filipino disarm from here is to come in under the leg, strip out the stick, and then you have a takedown from here if we were showing takedowns. But you have that finish. And another way to do this too, if you can, is to get that stick in your armpit. It's a much more severe catch. And another version of that. Event 1, Event 2, Event 3, 4, 5, 6. Event 1 and 2, 3.5. We're just going to show a rear armbar hammerlock. Pull this up to here. You've got a bargaining position. If you want to choke them, reach around, catch, pull back. And there's a trick for you at 3.5. Look at it again. 1, 2, 3. This hand, this comes up for protection. This hand just wraps the elbow. This ensures you get the move. And then you get the rear armbar hammerlock. Not up here, but leverage on the elbow. Critical to the move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull, strike. Most people in the world who do the Hubad drill never do 4, 5, and 6. This is a grave mistake. That I do something on the first 3, he does something on his first 3, which is my 4, 5, and 6. This is a grave waste of training. You're in these positions all the time too. If I have some handle, I pull down, and then I just strike into the throat, and then you do anything else that you want. So you have a 4.5 deal by striking there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. He gets this. I may just hit. Gosh, I could do the same thing again if I wanted to. But you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fan strike. Grab here. Come up under here. Get this move. Anything you want to do on beat 4.5. Or beat 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have the push, pull, lift. I throw my forearm down dramatically, I lift this up, and then I just go to town swinging the stick, That's a quick look for you. I don't know, there's probably 1,000 things to do out of that drill. And I hope that inspired you to do a couple. Punyo Hubad. While we're on the subject of the Punyo Hubad, let's just take a look at DMS Hubad, the two-handed grab. Dos manos. And so this is not done a lot. He gives me this strike motion that's coming from the same angle as the original single hand Hubad comes from. I block it. You might say that's event 1. Event 2 is the pass, and event 3 is the push down. And so there you have 3 versions. And now you could be like this too. We're here. Now I give him his number 4. He blocks it, he passes me over, and he pushes me down. He gives me this. And you see how you can do this. And of course, every one of these have a follow-up that you can do on the half beat. It's especially wonderful when you switch to one hand. So you start out at DMS, and then you can switch to SMS, single-handed grip, and then you can do a great amount of material. But a lot of people don't know you can do this drill with 2 hands. Another thing I've shown for years and years, I put this together because I wanted an easy lesson program for some sort of stick trapping hands or tappy-tappy. I've always called it the Outside Invasion series, and it involves some fundamental so-called trapping hands or tappy-tappy moves. And it involves a contact that it is an outside contact reference point, forearm to forearm. Now, if I have this contact, ow, that kind of hurts. This, you can do it, but it takes a jump to come in. But you can do it stick to stick. But it's perfect when it is forearm to forearm in extreme close quarters. So we have hit this reference point, and now the first one is going to get through. I'm going to take this palm and collapse right here. And as efficiently and as possible, take this punyo and strike to the carotid. You can also hit here, but I'm striking inward. So the first one is not blocked by that other hand. And so we're here, boom, boom. And I like to finish every armed version of the Outside Evasion series with a sudden and quick strike to the weapon-bearing limb that causes perhaps an impact disarm. We'll switch to this side. This guy has not yet been able to fire up this hand that's coming. So we hit, boom, I hit, and then boom, I hit here. So the first one goes all the way through. It's not blocked by the second hand. The second one, he blocks halfway. You might say his center line. He doesn't even get a chance to grab. He's no grab. He just puts his hand out. This one here, I'm going to do one overall move. I'm going to open up this hand, place this palm on his forearm, and this elbow on his upper arm. Like this. And so this is classic material. Now I learned trapping hands first from the Filipino martial arts with knives and sticks, and then learned it from Chinese orientation. And so this has got to be a good shot. I strike to the carotid, I swing around and get that impact weapon disarm there. So the first one gets through. The second one gets stopped halfway. The second one gets stopped halfway. The third of the big 4, as I like to call them, is this time the guy grabs. This is a grab. 2 options from here I always like to show. The elbow rollover. Elbow goes up, elbow goes over. This places him in the SVZ or center lock position, which is kind of weak. And not only am I going to drop my elbow, but I'm going to drop my weight too to further ensure that I get that release. So the third one gets grabbed. I can do this, or he grabs me, right? I have some punyo here. I'm going to take this like an uppercut and reach under. I'm going to take this hand here like an uppercut and reach under and grab my stick, you see, in this manner. And then, with a proper body position, I'm going to haul him right onto the ground. He grabs, and we have a takedown from it. So that one has two parts. And then finally, one everyone's used to. The first one got through. The second one got stopped halfway. The third one got grabbed. And the fourth one, he overblocks. He crosses his center line. He anticipates. Or you can lure him in, actually. But we hit. Look at that slowly from here. This has come in. As this is coming over, as it comes over, this hand on the bottom reaches up, grabs, pulls. Look at this perfect capture here. It's legendary. You'll probably never see it in real life, but that's what we're trying to shoot for. This strikes here, 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 and then we finish with the final blast onto the top of the hand for an impact. So, the first one gets through. The second one gets stopped halfway. The third one gets grabbed. And then the fourth one overblocks. And you see, that's the set I call the Outside Invasion series. You put that with the blast, you see, and you've got quite a bit of material to work with. I hope you have fun and I hope you learned something.